Andrew Wiggins is by far the lowest rated second option on a championship team in over a decade, after NBA 2K23 made him an 84 overall. Klay Thompson was unhappy with his three-point percentage being 11 points below Stephen Curry's. Also, Kevon Looney was made an incredibly low 75 overall. Topping it off, Jordan Poole's speed is at a 72, and Moses Moody's been rated at just a 73. This video shows you why the Golden State Warriors were poorly evaluated. Stephen Curry's one of 4 players of all time next to Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with multiple scoring titles, MVPs, and championships. Given LeBron James made 8 straight finals appearances and held ownership of the Eastern Conference for as long as any player since the late Bill Russell, you can see why everyone calls this the era dominated by LBJ. How LeBron can light up arenas and make SportsCenter on a nightly basis with mind-blowing throwdowns is simply more eye-catching and marketable than Stephen Curry's three-point shots. Curry has a 3-1 record against LeBron in the finals, and 2 championships plus a finals MVP, one without a superstar player next to him in 2015 and 2022, something LeBron has never done. But I'm not trying to tear LeBron down whatsoever. I just think he and Steph's career accomplishments are eerily similar. Steph's been labeled as one-dimensional, and the bottom line is, since he can't rise up from the foul line like Jordan, LeBron, and now Giannis, he'll never get the respect like those 3 from a ton of people. Tragically, very few come to appreciate how Curry can take over against the greatest athletes in the world, even without having the naturally gifted jumping ability like his opponents. Curry's stamina is most evident in his constant repositioning without the basketball in his hands, which embodies blood in the veins for the Warriors' offensive flow. Said endurance is also shown off defensively, where, as we broke down in my last video, Curry's become one of, if not the most underrated player on this end of the floor. From ISO clamps to help off the ball, you'll be shocked at the value Curry provides the Warriors on this end if you watch the tape broken down defensively in the video linked in the top right. In terms of Steph's 2K23 rating, they gave him a 99 overall three-point mark, which may have been a little high considering he went through a shooting slump this year. Curry's overall rating, however, is at a 96, which is lower than Giannis Antetokounmpo's. That 99.3 and 96 overall rating goes to show you how the narrative about Steph being one-dimensional has gone mainstream. It's also interesting how in previous games like 2K18 and 2K19, Steph was the second highest rated player on the Warriors behind Kevin Durant. That fact further enforces why Durant being better than Curry during his years in Golden State is the most fraudulent storyline in sports history. In 2022, there's no denying Steph carried the Warriors quite often with his gravity drawing, space creation off the dribble, distance bomb making, and out-of-this-world basketball intelligence, but that doesn't mean Curry's teammates should be forgotten about. Steph's made the most of the help around him, but without dominant performances from Maple Jordan, who knows if the Dubs would have achieved the ultimate glory. With the NBA Finals deadlocked at 2 games apiece, the Celtics' generational defense would key in on Stephen Curry and limit him to just 16 points. Steph shot just 7 of 22 from the field after his big Game 4, but Andrew Wiggins getting to his hot spots and executing with every bit of pressure beaming down on him isn't talked about nearly enough. Not only did Wiggins drop a crucial game-high 26 points in Game 5 of the Finals on 12 of 23 field goals made, but he rose up to snatch a vicious team-high 13 rebounds, boards which the Warriors needed, with massive, desperate Celtics like Robert Williams and Al Horford climbing all over them. For one of the best wing defenders in our game, who made 2 top players in Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic have to work for everything, and for a player who was deservedly an all-star starter that averaged a Warriors' second-best 18.3 points per game in the NBA Finals to be rated an 84 overall, proves that whoever makes the 2K ratings needs to watch basketball more this upcoming season. Despite an impressive defensive showing back in the regular season as well, Wiggins didn't get a single all-defensive team vote. Draymond Green was deservedly selected to the all-defensive second team, and Gary Payton II even received 3 second-team votes. Wiggins was well aware of that, saying on the VC Show podcast recently, "I ain't got 1 vote this year, I took it personal in the playoffs. This is my chance to really showcase what I can do, put my name on the radar. One thing I'm really going to strive for this upcoming season is being on the NBA's all-defensive team. That's a big goal of mine, and hopefully I open some eyes in the playoffs so I can be on the radar." End quote. One of the most insane moments from the 2022 season was when Wiggins postered his former teammate Karl Anthony Towns twice in one game. In the 17 games between that outing against his former team and going on health and safety in mid-December, Andrew Wiggins scored 19.5 points per game on 50% shooting from the field and 46% shooting from distance. Wiggins built up a reputation for going off either against the Toronto Raptors or Cleveland Cavaliers. He's from Toronto, like myself, and Cleveland's the franchise that dealt him away for Kevin Love. Against both the Raps and Cavs, Andrews averaged 22-plus points per game over his career. In the second week of last season, after Wiggins scored 35 points on 14 of 19 shooting from the floor, Stephen Curry said, "I'm going to text Wiggs that picture of him dunking on Cat every game right before the game. Let's see if that helps get the juices flowing. He has 72 text messages from me coming his way." End quote. After swiftly coming off flex screens, Wiggins has the footwork, strength, instincts, and finesse to back down his defender in the post. On the other end, game-winning defensive stances like this one, where he's not even slightly bothered by the Time Lord's pin down, stays down on Tatum's pump fake and jab step, and helps seal a win with a fundamental and poised contest on Jason's jump shot. Show off his top-notch value. That length and perceptiveness allows Wiggins to shock perimeter shooters with block jump shots and also fly in from out of nowhere to break up transition opportunities. One thing that makes Andrew so tough to get buckets on in ISOs is how he's constantly swiping at the ball, which not only gets him the steal, but speeds up attackers, negating them from being able to find a rhythm. That, combined with his positioning, balance, and defensive awareness in terms of his aptitude for making sound rotations, make it highly questionable that Wiggins was ranked so low. Speaking of Warrior wings being rated too low, you could argue that Jonathan Kuminga's 78 rating is too low, but really it was Moses Moody being rated a 73, which rubbed me the wrong way. I know Moody was an end-of-the-bench player for the Dubs, who's extremely raw, but with the Paul Pierce type potential he showed off in limited action for the Champs, the 14th overall pick in 2021's draft should have at the very least been a 75. What I love about Moody is the composure and maturity he has for his age and lack of experience. Draymond and Stephen Curry spoke endlessly about that during the regular season. The player development staff in Golden State, and of course veteran guidance, is first class, so Moody's in the absolute perfect situation. On one hand, you can see why the 2K devs gave him a low 70s mark, because he barely had time to show off his game as a rookie. On the other hand, this man became Summer League scoring champion around 2 months ago at this point, so there was plenty of time for him to have gotten rated higher. Of course, you're going to say the Summer League doesn't matter, but I'd argue there was still enough tape on Moody during his rookie campaign to recognize a player who would have averaged significantly more minutes and points per game had he not been buried in Steve Kerr's stacked rotation. In your opinion, which Warrior was disrespected the most by NBA 2K23? Best answer down below in the comments gets next video shoutout, and the top 5 commenters with the most shoutouts by September 21st earn free merchandise of their choosing. Last video I asked, what's Stephen Curry's most underrated quality? Boston Haltane says, in my opinion, so many people just don't understand how great of a leader Curry is. That's definitely his most underrated quality. You tell the story and community speaks, so leave your take on today's question.